Just sending out some peaceful energy. Good morning, Doris. Hi, Temperamental Tea. Hi, guys. Hello. Good morning, Denise. It's a beautiful morning. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this morning? I am going to do a little bit of cleansing and purifying here as well this morning, and join me with that. So the first thing I'm going to do is light some Palo Santo, and I'm going to smudge and cleanse the space. Normally I do this before I start, but I decided today I would start and I would do it on the air. I'm trying to take morning, saying good morning, out of my vocabulary. So I'm trying to go to good day or giving daily blessings and stuff. Because when you think about morning and morning, they sound the same. And they do that with our language a lot, right? Weekend is like weekend, right? So just, I'm trying to be careful with that. So greetings and blessings today. Blessings today. Today's Thursday, which means that it is under the the beautiful energy of Jupiter, which is about growth and expansion and luck. And Thursday is one of my favorite days. I'm Sagittarius. I'm super Sag, actually. It depends on which system you look at, though. If you look at our traditional zodiac astrology, I'm Sagittarius. If you look at sidereal or true sidereal, I'm Scorpio. And a big Scorpio, like super Scorpio, or Ophiuchus. If you add the 13th one in, then I become a super Ophiuchus. So it depends on the system that you use. But in our tropical, which is what most people are familiar with, I'm very, very much Sagittarius. With a lot of other, I'm even Steven between masculine and feminine signs. But I'm mostly fire in the masculine area. Mostly fire. So, what's your sign? We're coming into a full moon. We're at the last day before the full moon. It's tomorrow. The full moon is a super full moon. It's the final not the final full moon. It's the final super full moon of this year. And when you think about the things that we know and the things that we don't, I was working on that tea. I have this tea. We have to start with the tea that's here because this tea will get cold. We're going to do a variety of things today. We're going to be working, today's Thursday, so it's Transformation Thursday. So we'll do, hi Sherry, so we'll do some energy stuff. I've just cleansed the space. I'm going to light an incense as well. And we'll just do some energy work. We'll do some talk. I do have cards that I'm going to use, but the cards that I'm going to use are one of two decks. So when I do get to the point of pulling cards, it'll be one card per person, okay? And that being said, if it's the Magdalene codes that you get a card from, then if you get a key, you'll get the hologram. So there's technically two cards with that, but you get the corresponding hologram when I pull them. So it's just gonna be quick cards when we get to cards, in the sense that the Alchemy Elementals, they're very powerful cards, and if you get one of those, the message can be quite lengthy in these cards, but That's what my plan is for today, because they are powerful cards. They create energetic shift. So we'll see how that goes. And if you want a card, doesn't matter whether you're on Facebook, or sorry, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok, anybody can have a card. Just please interact and exchange energy in some way that you can exchange energy. I appreciate everybody that supports me. This is my business. I am a healer. I am I'm so many things, and the people that are with me and have been with me for a while understand how much that I bring to the table. So I appreciate you guys for supporting me, and I've had so much support lately. Like, I've just been humbled with the way that it has come, which just makes me, once again, it's just confirmation of how magical the universe is when you are in your authentic space and giving generously from a place of love. The universe does shine on you. And I've had so many. I've had Tammy, I've had Salasia, I've had Richard, and all these people show up and send me gifts or make purchases recently. And everyone that gives me a gift or makes a purchase to me, it's actually paying for my food, or it's paying for my phone, or it's paying for my electricity. Like, anyone that interacts and purchases my stuff, it's actually helping me to survive and buy food for my dog. So I appreciate it, and I just wanted to say thank you most recently to those individuals that have been very generous. So I appreciate that. Apparently we have a Live Fest Canada thing going on TikTok, so I'm just going to check that really quick. Yes, peace and love. And I do believe that when you give like that, you are, you are, it returns to you tenfold, like absolutely tenfold, right? So anyone that's gifted to me, tenfold blessing to you, all the way, all the way. So thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna do a collective check in with the energy. I'm gonna pull from a couple of decks for that, just whatever I'm guided to do. And I'll talk about some of the things that have been kind of downloading recently, which is quite interesting. So, I did do a video to put a reel up on TikTok, but I didn't finish it. I didn't put it up yet. And then I had an idea of doing a second reel right after it. So we'll do some talking before I get into doing the reading. So I've been talking about Greg Braden, and I've been talking about this in the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective, where we've been actually having conversation. And I love that space because you have so many people that channel and that have claircognizance. There's just the knowing that they have. So when you get together and you start talking about these concepts, other people are in that same resonance of understanding, or they challenge it just slightly and you tweak it, and as you go, it opens you up more. So you never know when that information's going to come in, where you'll just suddenly, someone will say something and it'll be the switch that's necessary. And you could be the person that's going to say something that's going to be the switch, right? I saw a lady posting before about if you're a coach, you should not be telling anybody what to do, that people are meant to figure it out on their own. And it's like, well, no, we're all essentially, no matter what space you're in, you're telling people what to do. You're telling people how to think, or you're telling people what to think. And you're sharing what resonates for you, or what's right for you, or what's tried and true, or, what's been researched. What the person is the one that still has to do it. It's always up to the person. Like, it's never me that makes you do anything. I can't make anybody do anything. I can't. It's absolutely true. I can't make anybody do anything. You have to want to do it. If I tell you, you know what, if you get up every day and you do heart focused breathing and you do it 3 times a day, you do it morning, you do it middle of the day, and you do it in the evening, and you've only got to do it for maximum of 5 minutes, even 5 minutes, 3 times a day. Can you give up 15 minutes a day for your health, spread out in 5-minute increments throughout your day? And I can tell you all these things. I can tell you the benefit. I can tell you the research behind it. I can tell you that by doing that, you turn your body into a heightened healing machine for up to 6 hours because of the benefits provided from doing heart-focused breathing. You are recalibrating your nervous system to what feels safe in doing this. You are getting your brain and your heart to be in the same space so that they're communicating to each other well. It helps you to clear off the emotional scream from one situation to the next so you're not carrying energy from, say, a crappy day at work and bring it into your home, right? So if you do heart focused breathing before you go home from work, as you maybe you're listening to music in the car, you throw on a couple of your favorite songs or you listen to some frequency music, and you spend 5 minutes 5 minutes to yourself before you bust through the door from work and just come in with clean, clear energy. I can tell you to do these things, but guess what? It's all just words unless you implement it and you do the practical portion of it. So nobody can tell anybody to do anything, but we all are in a certain way. So I was just like, that's a weird, like, I understand what she's trying to say. She's trying to say, like, like we're supposed to lead people to the understanding themselves and not point it out. But there are some ways where pointing it out can be the switch that flips and you're like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And that's why people resonate with me and not with other people. And while some people will resonate with you and not other people, because we're speaking in the same way and the understanding comes through easier because of that. So I love Greg Braden. He's somebody that when I listen to his stuff, it takes my concepts that I already have, it adds a little bit, and then I go a little bit further in my mind with the concept that he brings. But I always talk about how living our life is like living in a video game, right? We're essentially avatars. We chose with our consciousness to embody this physical form in this physical realm. And we are, if we look at it from a programming sense, our consciousness is what creates the reality that we live in. And we were talking yesterday about how if you have 8,000 in the current system, we have about 8 billion people. So if you have, say, we'll just round up to 10,000. If you took 10,000 people and they were holding the same belief system and the same values, that can work against the other 8 billion, right? So 8,000 people holding the concept of peace at the same time can wash away the opposing energy because of being in that peace state. Because the real facts are, like, people around the world aren't holding the same vision at the exact same time. So our construct of reality is created by the shared consciousness. So if we all believe, that there's gravity field that holds us in place so that we don't float away. If we all believe that collectively, that creates that within the reality system as a consciousness. They've done, and one of the stories that Greg Braden used as an example of this, there was a fictional story. Yeah, you can ask me questions. I reserve the right to answer them. I always say that. You can ask any question you want on here. Just, you're going to get whatever, I'm going to react to whatever and respond to whatever you put down. So you can ask whatever you want. But I'll put it back to you. Are you prepared to hear my response? Right? Because sometimes people ask questions because, for a certain reason, but they don't want to hear the response. Right? So are you prepared to ask the question and hear what I have to say? Good morning. Good morning, love. Love to you. So the one fictional story that Greg Braden spoke on was, there was an episode of Twilight. And in this Twilight episode, this man had to land a plane in an emergency, and they didn't realize. Okay, so this is the question. I'm gonna share the question out because I'm not understanding it completely entirely. If you see one man shrinking to 5 centimeters, what do you do at that moment? What is your first reaction? Okay, so my mind logically goes to the only thing in a man that's shrinking to 5 centimeters is his bits and pieces. So I don't know if that's a psychological question or not. Like how would you like me to respond to that? How does the man feel about his bits and pieces? If this is what the 5 centimeters is referring to. Because we need to have like you can't just ask a question and then not respond to it. Hi guys, sorry, we just have someone asking something on YouTube that I'm not quite understanding. Maybe you guys can comment in on this. If you see one man shrinking to 5 centimeters, what do you do at that moment? What is your reaction? So I'm trying to figure out what exactly he means by that question, and it was posed as a psychological question. So I'm thinking he's talking about a male's bits and pieces being only 5 centimeters. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't understand the question, sir. Right. If you're curious about what my personal feelings are towards the size of a man's member, and that's not something that's your domain. My feelings on that would be important to me and the individual that I'm in a relationship with that would get to an intimate level like that, to be fair. Right? And if you have something, insecure within yourself about the size of your member, and you're worried that people are going to laugh at you, or, make you feel bad or do anything like that, that's something for you to work out. And I would hope that when you did get to the point where you were going to have intimate relations with somebody else, that they would have a good relationship for me. I know. Anyway, I don't understand this question. So we're just going to pass on by, and thank you. Thank you for your contribution today. I appreciate you. I'm going to go back to what I was doing, which was definitely not talking about that stuff. So let's do a little cleanse of the space. Okay, let's just do a little cleanse. I said I was going to bring in some incense, and I think that that's a very important thing. Yeah, I don't understand Byron. I don't understand what he's saying. Size doesn't matter. I mean, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you love them, that's you're gonna be matching on many levels, and there's many more things that are important within a relationship than just sex, to be fair. But I'm done with the line of conversation. And if you're saying, if I saw a 5 centimeter man, like a man that was, I didn't even put 5 centimeters, I went really small. If we had, that's about 5 centimeters. If there was a 5 centimeter man, like physical man, that was only 5 centimeters, that was standing in front of me, I would be delighted. I would wonder what realm he came from, because I'm going to assume that he's not human, that he maybe is fairy or something else. Okay. Right? Like, I'll check in on him. Alrighty. let's let's get that's I guess it's more along the lines, if I suddenly became, a giant, and like there's a teeny tiny man in front of me, what would I do? I wouldn't hurt them. I would be like, more, holy crap, like, what happened to me? How did I become a giant? Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, how am I going to make it through? Like, how, like, what am I would be like, holy crap. Right? I wouldn't hurt anybody. Like, I would be just power. Like, what is your concept of power? Right? What is your concept of power? Right? I rather empowerment, where we're empowering other people, or where we all sit around at the same table, that there's nobody that's better than anybody, that there's, You know, you may have a skill set that allows you to have more knowledge in or wisdom in a specific area, and I may have knowledge and wisdom in another area that may mean that I should handle that particular spot, but nobody's better than anybody, right? So the only thing that's good about power is if you can if you can empower other people, if you can help make changes in a positive way to society, right? But anyway, I appreciate you contributing to the program today, or to this live today. I appreciate that, but we're gonna move on from that. I don't know, you know, if you want to go and ask your friends or your family, or you want to, you know, play that what would you do if in this situation? But, you know, I'm here spreading a message of unity and peace and love and all of that. And so, yeah. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're talking about transformation, we're talking about energy, we're talking about healing and awakening, and you know, and when it comes to asking questions, I'm not really fielding questions right now. The one question that I've got today has taken me off the general vibe that I had going for today, which was about peace and talking about these expansive topics and stuff. And now I'm having a conversation with somebody about what would I do if a man appeared before me that was 5 centimeters. At first I thought talking about, you know, the physical man thingy, but now I'm realizing it's just the little man. So I don't know. That has no point in what I'm talking about at this time. Hello, Joshua. How are you? So I'm going to pull out my cards. I'm going to pull out my cards and we're going to move on. And I love you guys. Let's shake the energy. Let's shake the energy. Alrighty. Yeah. I'm going to be definitely dealing with the Alchemy Elemental cards, as well as the Magdalene Manifestation cards. Love you. I don't hate people. That's the problem, right? Like, so if you're here looking for a man hater, like someone that hates men, you're not going to find that here. I'm not that person. If you think that I'm some hateful person that, you know, or some power hungry person or some evil person, you're in the wrong space. If somebody became 5 centimeters, like if a man shrunk down and became 5 centimeters in front of me, I would be surprised, possibly even to the point of shocked. And I would be like, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? That would be my first thing, would be, are you okay? I would be shocked and ask, are you okay? I wouldn't smush him. I wouldn't bite his head off. I wouldn't do all these crazy things. Like, I'm not a person that has hate in me for anybody. It doesn't matter who's there before me. You know, and so just to be clear about how much I do not have hate in my heart, my dad did a lot of bad things to me, and my dad's an unhealed man. And the only thing I wish for my dad is that he heals himself. And I send him compassion and love, even though he sexually assaulted me as a small child, even though he's still depraved at this point with his mindset. I don't wish him any ill will. I don't wish him any bad things. I don't wish anybody any bad things. I recognize that I am a spiritual being, or I'm a light being, you're a light being, and we are having this human experience. And in this human experience, we are getting programmed and sub-programmed in our subconscious to believe things are a certain way, or to hate certain people because society tells us we should hate anything that's different from us. I don't believe in that. I believe in men and women having both masculine and feminine energy in it. So for us to think that masculine is better is for us to reject half of ourselves. We have suppressed the feminine energy, or made it seem weak, or made it seem useless in society, and that's why society is in the state that it's in. The only thing that I send out is peace and love. And so you asking me if some man just shrunk to 5 centimeters in front of me, what would I do? Expecting me to say something, or trying to goad me into some kind of response of hate or hurt or anything like that. No, it's not what I'm about. It's not what my page is about. So if you're here with love in your heart, or you're here with the concept of us being all one, or about, just that you can see the good in other people, then, and no division, then by all means stick around. But if you want to try to create division or hate, then just keep on going. Go find someone else's page where they'll engage with you in that way. And that's all I have to say on it. Hi, Salasia. How are you? Hi, Trauma Warrior. How are you? So we're going to check in with the cards today. We're going to check in and see what the energy is. Today is Thursday. It is the day before the full moon. It is a super full moon in Gemini. And this is a very powerful super full moon. But again, we have to look at what if what we know about the moon is all wrong? What if they've told us that the moon is this specific thing, and they tell us that the sun is bad for you, so you stop admiring the sun or giving your attention to the sun, and we all start honoring the moon and giving our attention to the moon? And what if that's so that they can capture our attention? Ooh. There's all these really interesting things that we could think about, or the cards are really active right now. The cards are really active right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna smudge my space again, just because of the energy from that particular conversation, and yeah, and then we'll get to the cards at some point. Okay, but let's do something not cards, because with the energy of them exploding like that, we're gonna give it a second. All right. How's everybody doing? How's everybody Thursday? What ideas do you have for growth today? The wind just picked up. I might have to close the windows. It's November and I have both the windows fully open, which wouldn't be an issue if the wind wasn't blowing in that direction, but woo. All right, there. All right. And you know what? We were talking earlier about heart-focused breathing. We were talking about, that can be a challenge, right? Okay, so let's do this together. Okay? So all we're going to do is we're just going to focus on our heart. Okay, and we're just going to breathe out first, because it's easier to take a big breath in when you have pushed out your air, because we usually find out that we retain a certain amount. We're doing such shallow breathing for the most part. Not many of us engage our tummy in breathing. We breathe to our chest, but not all the way into our tummy. So we're going to do that this time. So we're just going to exhale. Hi, Crystal. And then we're going to breathe in. And then we're going to breathe out. Focusing on the heart and breathing in 5 seconds, out 5 seconds, that's heart-focused breathing. Now we can amp it up to the quick coherence technique, and it just allows things to amplify quicker and allow your brain to get into coherence faster. And that's because we're going to think about something that makes us feel good. And so think about something that makes you feel appreciative, or gratitude, or love, or compassion, joy, right? So think about appreciating yourself for taking the time today to focus on your heart and to give yourself that attention. That's a really good way to put appreciation into your body, right? So think about how you can be proud of yourself for that. Okay, so I'm going to exhale again. Focus on the heart. If 5 seconds is too fast or too long, you can adjust the time in which you're breathing in and out so that it is a fitting time for you. If you start to feel lightheaded, you can always stop, right? 5 seconds was found to be the best time frame for this. And it's just maintaining that for 3 to 5 minutes, right? 3 to 5 minutes of inhaling and exhaling. Focusing on your heart and thinking about a high vibrational emotion or thoughts that make you feel that high vibrational emotion, right? You can think about compassion. You can focus on things that make you feel compassion. Did you know that there were these two twins, and when they were born, they were premature? They were separated into different NICU wards, that's neonatal intensive care units, and they didn't realize at the time, this was a while ago, how important those connections can be to our parents, to our siblings. They'd spent all this time together in utero and then were separated, and also separated from their mom and the heart rate. So these babies, the one started failing and was not doing well, and they were trying everything that they could, all these different protocols, and nothing was working. So this one night, this one nurse decided she was just going to take her over and put her with her sibling. As soon as she put the baby in with her sister, the other baby immediately put her arm around her sibling, and that infant's vital signs improved. The baby ended up living. So you can imagine placing that little baby in that incubator with the other baby, and that arm going around and hugging her, and then that baby doing better because the twins were back together. That can make you feel so much love or so much compassion in your heart, and you can focus on that as you continue to do your heart focused breathing. Sorry, I stopped counting for a minute because the hug. So you can keep doing that as much as you need to bring that coherence into your body, between your heart and your brain, to be in this moment and to heighten your immune system so that it'll be functioning the most. You drop yourself into this beautiful space of rest, of digest, and your immune system functions best at that time. So enjoy that, enjoy it. And know that as you're doing that, you're letting go of the emotional energy that you've been sitting in. Energetically, they're connected. They're created from the same, like they are always tied energetically. There will be no separating the twins and their energetic connection. And the same thing with the mom. The mom is attached to her children through the umbilical cord, and it's not just a physical cord, it's an energetic cord, and that energetic cord stays with you after the birth, after the child is an adult even. You're still connected to that. And if you strengthen that connection, that energetic connection between you and your child, it can continue to stay strong, and you can stay connected, right? And then that's how you know. You'll be sitting there, oh, I better check in on my kid. I don't know why, but I feel like there's something's up. And twins really do. Like, then you see those ones where they're like, okay, they put the twins on like different sides of a wall, and they're like, okay, so we're just gonna ask you to do a couple of things, and you just do whatever. We want to see how in sync you are. And the twins, they'll be like, show, like put up any number of fingers, put up a number of fingers, and they'll go. Both of them will go three, right? They'll be like, strike a pose, and both of them will be like, or whatever. They just do all the same things, right? And there's so many of them that do that, and that's that energetic connection that resides between them. It exists always, right? And when we have babies, like, the babies are supposed to be on us, like, initially, and we're supposed to have that bonding time. Normally, women would have sat in a much different position to birth, right? They would have squatted. They would have allowed pulled the baby out, and they would have brought it right to their chest. They wouldn't have, been sitting on their backs with their legs splayed up like this. They wouldn't have had somebody, like all these, it wouldn't have been the way that it is now. So, it's just, we forget that. We forget that, we brought all of these things are there, but it disconnects us from the way that things are naturally supposed to be. And when we start to look into why those things were naturally the way that they were, it's usually because they test into the underlying energy. The more that the longer that we go, the better their instruments for testing are, right? So science can catch up to spirituality, and that's what quantum has been doing, is catching up to spirituality. And quantum physics and stuff, that's where they are starting to find the proof of, or they're starting to prove the concepts that we've known in spirituality, which is nice, because then the other people who don't believe it will start to see it as well. So it's a beautiful Thursday today. It's a transformational day. Let's see what the cards have to say. We'll do a check-in just with the energy of this full moon, and what we should be considering. Okay. Aw, thank you, Bellamia. Good morning, Chexie. How are you? All right. What's the energy for the collective today? What do we have coming in for us? Okay. There has been, and you know what, I can understand the individual that came on the live or on YouTube this morning and was asking the questions and stuff like that, because there has been, especially politically in the West right now, like in the US, and I know that I have people from all over. I'm from Canada. I will have our own election at some point, and like every country does, and that gets everybody pitted against everybody else. And that's, in the States, it's really bad right now. And there's so much stuff that's coming out, and women are in an uproar in the States. And when they look at the divorce, lawyers have said that typically they get maybe 3 consults a week. Since the election, they've been getting 14 consults a day. So women literally, because their husbands chose to vote in a specific way, are divorcing them. There is so much polarity and division and hate being stirred up in the pot, and all the inflammatory stuff being spread back and forth. There's men that have come out and are saying, your body, my choice, and then women are rolling out their home information. One individual that did that, the women found his address, and they attacked him with such ferocity, he left his home and they burned it to the ground. I can understand why he's, or why that individual, I'm making an assumption about gender there, I apologize, but the individual that asked the question, I think, there's a lot of straight up just hate around the world right now, and a polarity between, sexes is being really amped up in the States right now. And a lot of concrete, and that's not, my view is not that it's concrete. I'm beyond that stuff. I think that's ridiculous. But they are just basically divided. If you voted this or you voted this, you are hateful, or you are dead to me. Like it's become that polarity. Hello, Nathaniel. Love to you, friend. Okay, so we've got some cards here. We've got this beautiful emperor. The emperor is Aries energy, but we've got this beautiful emperor, and this is the divine masculine. And if we look at this as a yeah, the husbands are like, you like what? And yeah, just because you voted in that way, we're getting a divorce, and I shouldn't have to explain why. Like I honestly, and it's just like what, what, people cutting family out of their life. Like it's just become like so sad. It's so sad. And that's when the dark truly wins, right? That's when the dark truly wins, is when they seed hate in your heart, and so much hate in your heart for other people. It's crazy. It's sad. So this is the divine masculine energy, and this could represent society right now, that we're in a toxic masculine era, and it's unfortunate for men as well as for women that the energy, the masculine energy, is being represented in such a negative way, right? When we talk about leadership as an authority, or power as in control, right? In these types of ways, that's not the divine masculine energy in a healthy representation. This could be egomania, narcissism, like those types of things are what get carried within in a shadow masculine energy. And we're healing this. There's many of us that are waking up to this understanding that we all have masculine and feminine energy in us, and that by saying that you are male and I am female, it's just a polarity and a division. And all of these labels that are there just set to disconnect us. So they made men think that they have to be like super, super toxic to be a man, right? So there's the whole alpha male, right? That's not healthy male. Then they have women being told that they are weak and they are sub to a man. You should be subordinate. You should listen to the man. We've been put into a listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. What do you know? What could you do? How could you possibly lead anybody, Linda? Because you need to be following the masculine energy. The thing is we all have masculine and feminine energy in us. And what it made was women try to be men in chasing that fairness or that equality. The equality is within us. We are, all of us, masculine and feminine. We operate in that energy when we are doing certain things. So society is in this toxicity level. The way that we get away from it is we stop participating. Hi, Bri Guy. We stop participating. And your attention, so when we think about this, I was talking about this morning, your consciousness is creation. That our consciousness is what is our spirit, right? When you breathe, right? When you breathe, you're breathing that consciousness, or keeping that consciousness awake. If we look at the breath as, even consciousness in and of itself, or if we look at the breath as in that energy between the fabric of life and that and God, the source of life. If we pass out, right? If we hold our breath and pass out, that's our consciousness disconnects from the physical form. If we die, our consciousness disconnects from the physical form, right? So it's the consciousness that is who you truly are. This is just a part of that, right? This is our temple, or the space that we're in. So when our attention or our awareness, what we're giving attention to, creates our reality. Whether it's I create my personal reality through my thoughts, my beliefs, the emotions that embody those beliefs, and the actions that I take in the direction of those based on how I'm thinking and feeling. So if I think that I am an inconsequential speck of dirt that can't do anything, and I'm only born into this physical body, and at the end of my 70 years I die, that's the reality that I'm going to live until I change those belief systems. right? I will live a reality where I'm disconnected from my spirituality. I'll live a reality where I'm approaching 60s and I'll start to think I need to retire because my life is slowly winding into nothingness. We could live to be 900 years old. When you look at the Essenes, they talk about the fact that our body could physically live for 900 years. And if you talk to other spiritual people, there is lots of proof that we could easily exceed 120 years lifespan as human beings. The problem is that we get so disconnected from our minds, from our reality, from the consciousness that is the real, the absolute truth, as we come through the veil blinded. And the framework or the matrix that we are living in, and there's matrix all around, as a matrix is just a framework or a structure that contains, so a womb is a matrix as well. Within this structure, we are told certain things. We are told that we evolved from apes, or that we have been extending your life expectancy, right? We hear that all the time, where they talk about how all these certain things that they've given us have extended our lives. Because when we look back historically, because of dental, or because of this, or because of that, we had really short lifespans, which is bull. It conditions us, or it puts the sub programming in that we are going to age and die at a certain time span. And so our belief system is what wakes us up, or what changes us to that. So when we wake up and we change our belief system, we start to realize, wait a second, I do have this ability to sense things on an energetic level. Or you wake up to the realization that your body is a very, very high-end computer. It's a high-end machine, and more because it is a biomechanical machine that is beyond what they can even create, right? They're trying, and they will, like, even AI will not be what we are, right? It can't be. So your attention, it matters. Your belief system, it matters. These are the if we look at it as the code, right? This is how we code the machine. So if I think a certain way, that lays down the code. When I add the emotions in, that sinks the code in more deeply. It really creates a solid foundation. And every time I take actions in a way that supports the belief system, I am adhering that even more deeply into the foundation, or the fabric of reality. And every one of us is being fed this information so that we keep that fabric of reality created. So the age of Aquarius, and this whole movement of us really removing the veil and these truths unfolding, is going to continue to unfold as more people wake up and put their eyes on the truth. When they start spreading the message of truth, right? When we start to say things like, open up the containers, because there's so much human trafficking, people are starting to look at it, and they're starting to say, we demand action, we demand answers. We can't put the rabbit back in the hat. We've opened our eyes and we've seen it, and now that we've seen it and we put our awareness on it, this existence of it can't be denied anymore. And the more people that see that is making the awakening happening. So you're a part of that by choosing to awaken your awareness to your belief system. What do you believe, and why do you believe it? Who put the belief in there? Where did they get the belief from? Good morning, love. Where did they get the belief from? Question that, right? Question things. There are texts out there that are, have been taken out of publication. Even when you look at your, if I saw a shrinking man, I would ask about my sanity, possibly, right? When we, that just made me totally lose my train of thought. Just give me a second. Hello. I don't know what this thing is on TikTok. It says take the stage. What are we taking the stage on? Oop, I tapped on it and it came up. Hang on a second. Oh, By the way, on TikTok, I have some subscriptions that I can give away for my TikTok channel. I actually have 5 subscriptions that I could give away. Um, So if anyone is in a is wanting to have a subscription to my channel, I could gift you one if you were in a position where you couldn't really afford it. So this is a time of mastery. This is a time of us, yeah, on TikTok. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastery. This is about looking at that information. Like she's looking at everything. Not on the mind, body, spirit. No, for the TikTok page. Sorry, for the TikTok page. I did a special thing at the end of November. I offered everybody on my website, all 130 members of my website, I gifted them all acceptance into the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. I even tagged everybody in the post, so they would have got, they would have been notified of it. Some people jumped in and, put a message in the group, but only one member actually ever attended the lives, and she is now a member of that group. No. And I don't mean that. This was back at the end of October. Back at the end of October, and you do. I can't make you. I can suggest it, but again, this goes back to the concepts that we were talking about at the beginning of the day. I can say all kinds of things, but the only one that can do anything is you. The only one that has the power to change their life is you. We get taught that we're going to have a savior. Right, we get taught all along that we can't save ourselves, that we have to have someone else save us. Right, when you look at the TV program, we have these beautiful things where Superman's going to save humanity. Right, we're going to have a superhero that's going to come in and save us. Or if you're a woman, our knight in shining armor is going to run in and save us. Nobody's coming to save us like that. You save yourself by going within, right? You save yourself by making by assessing your thoughts and really looking at what is really true, what is really valid, what is really helpful. Honey. No. You are not, don't say weak-minded. You're not weak-minded. You're not weak-minded. You're not weak-minded. Okay, cancel that. Right? Right? You know that I'm here whenever you're ready. And whenever you come here, you know that you've always got this space. Okay? Know that you always have this space, and you can come here as much as you like, and you can always get the positive, that positive space here. When you're ready, you'll join us. That's it. It's when you're ready. And sometimes we make mountains out of molehills. We have a fear that it's going to be something that it's not, or we have a fear that we don't belong. Maybe we have an insecurity. I know some people come into the group and they feel like they don't belong there, but trust me, you all belong there. We all belong there. We are all the same. We are all one, and we are all in this journey together. And whether one person is here and the other person is here in their healing or awakening journey, that means that the person up here gets to be a light to help them, right? So we become a supportive group, we are like an umbrella, right? As the other individuals rise, they become an umbrella of support for the other individuals that need it because they're not at that level yet. And it's a very beautiful space. Okay, so, and it's there for when you're ready. And whatever the fear is, I'm sending you lots of strength, right? Lots of strength. And look at strength. Good morning. Look at that. Change, right? We got 4-4. The 4-4 is our lovely angels. So we've got strength, right? So we're learning, we're getting educated, we're learning, we're getting to the truth, we're finding out what the real truth is, and we're adding our essence to the stuff that we're learning. And that's your own discernment. So you might learn to be a tarot reader and then find out that you want to add a little something different to it. So maybe you combine tarot and charms, or maybe you use tarot as just a medium to give channeled messages, which is what I'm doing. So we've got this energy, this education or this experience of learning, of growing. We've got the strength that we need to get there. We are bringing in intelligence. This is the King of Swords, which is the mental space. So we're being very logical and wise. And we're also bringing in the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is passionate, fiery, inspired action. So we're making wise decisions and following it with inspired action, where your heart is actually in it. This is how we switch from this energy to here. Let's see what else we've got coming in. Wisdom. And we're going to do cards. The cards are going to be powerful cards, though. So the building blocks, right? We've got to get back to the basics. We've an Ale, hello, love. It's been so long. It's been so long. I still see your content, though. Mwah. And Kate, I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doris, as well. Thank you, guys. Anyone for the gifts, thank you so much. So the 28 is building blocks. So this is about creating a solid foundation. And we're all going back to basics. We're all going back and saying, wait a second, this current structure doesn't work for us. Where did it go all wrong? And where do we pull back the structures to? Like what structures need to be completely torn down to be rebuilt again? What structures have somewhat of a good foundation that just need, to be created or changed in a specific way? But every step, like every part of it, we have to have that solid foundation. So you may feel like you're not making like a lot of motion forward right now because you're in the foundational space of making sure that the foundation is solid, right? So, and then we build from there. And collectively as a consciousness, we're creating that reality together, right? As each one of us awakens and we realize there's a better way that we can be as human beings, and there's a better way that we can be with the planet. And it's so beyond politics, because politics is just a part of that creation, right? The same thing with religion. Religion is a construct that's used to control and to make you have a specific belief system. And that belief system creates the foundation, the framework around it. 11:01 on the clock, wonderful new beginnings. And it's Jupiter today, growth and expansion. Unfinished symphony, right? So there are some things that aren't quite done yet. Some things that maybe we're not quite ready to let go of. And when you think about it, we are just in the end of the age of Capricorn, where Pluto was in Capricorn. It officially goes into Aquarius on the 19th of November. And the cardinal signs are like passing the torch of karma and change and all of that to the fixed signs. But with Aquarius, it is a time of innovation. It's a time of originality, and it's a time for the illusions that have kept us in place for them to be revealed. So the truth becomes more apparent for us as we go. But that will cause some issues for us. We have to remember as we're doing this journey that we're co-creative partners with spirit. Many of us have lost that connection. We think that we're just, little peons, little humans sitting on a ball moving through the galaxy or through the solar system, and we're nothing. We are more than that, and our co-creative partner is Source. This is going to bring us to peace. We are going to be moving towards a peaceful time. And they talk about that. They talk about, if you look into religion, which, by the way, the reason why I have an issue with religion or with the Bible isn't because, I used to be Christian. I worked in a Christian hospital. I know, I even went to Sunday school as a child, willingly on my own. I took myself to Sunday school. Because I think I was always looking and searching for more, and the concept of God gave me the concept of more. But the Bible isn't a complete book, and as long as there's chapters that are missing, then you're not getting the full story. And without the full story, you can't make a full. You can't integrate it's not right. So that's my issue with that as well. It's not a complete book. As well, spirituality or God is outside of man. So this is a format that's created by man. So that would be my things on that. But for anyone that questions, I do believe in God. I just believe in God as the source of all creation, as unconditional love, and I do not see that as judging, criticizing, stuff like that. For some of us, if we're not careful, we are going to be continuing to go round and spiraling in the same space. We have to do things differently. When you're meeting a similar situation that is familiar to you and it looks the same, ask yourself if you're the same and if you're going to go through it the same, right? So are you going to experience the same? It's not, we will see situations differently. And the reason why we see those situations differently as we go is so that we can see how different we are now and that we're not responding in the same way. So we get to see those things happen again and again and again until we act differently. So we're gonna be in that spiral of things until we determine we don't want to go round and round anymore. We are done with going round and round. We've got the sun dancers coming in. The sun dancers, this is about joyful activity, the celebration of life and abundance. And many of us are moving into that space because we are embodying joy. When you embody joy in your heart and in your body, and you do things that are joyful and you live in that space, the world smiles on you, or the universe, right? God smiles on you, and you have more things to be joyful for, more things to celebrate, more abundance to have. And when we get to the true source of prosperity is sharing. Prosperity is prosperity shared. So when we share of those things, we spread it, and that's how we create this beautiful shift in our lives. Hi. I don't know how to help you, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Okay, and I get this quite often. I get many orphanages and stuff like that pop on my page and ask me for donations or this, that, and the other thing. I'm living in my mom's house right now, so I'm not who you think I am. Okay. Hello, how are you? How are you? All right, so what else do we have coming out for the collective today? It's been some pretty powerful stuff. Ooh, we've got the Desert Prince. I like this. So the Desert Prince is about survival and false promises. And this is where we're coming from, right? We're seeing the false stuff that's out there. We're seeing that people, like our governments do it to us all the time. This is my platform, this is what I'm going to do, and then they get in and they don't do it. I mean, in Canada, we have Justin, who has said in his very first election run, back when, how many years ago was that? Like 12, 8, 12? I don't know how long has he been in. That he was going to fix the drinking water crisis that the indigenous tribes were experiencing. And guess who still doesn't have clean drinking water? Right? So false promises, those things are becoming apparent to everybody, and they're like, hang on a second. And they're going to be being held accountable. Right? That's what the age of Aquarius is going to be doing. We've got the divine guidance coming in of the spirit whisperer. So divine guidance, higher knowing. And that is what's starting to happen as we wake up more and more, and the veil gets thinner and thinner, and we become more aware of the truth, and we start to actually trust our knowing. Our knowing is so powerful. It is powerful. We remember. You have coded in your DNA all that information, right? You know those past lifetimes. It's encoded in your DNA. You know the future lifetimes that you have yet to experience, because time is an illusion. So you know that everything's happening in the perpetual now. This is our time. This is the phoenix rising. This is our time. We are being resurrected. So what do we want to see as the new form that unfolds before us? Because we do need to change, and there's a bit of surrendering to that change that needs to occur. But we want to be consciously aware of what we're creating as we're going forward, and recognizing that all of us putting our attention together into seeing that future that we want to see is what's going to create that future, because it's the collective consciousness that creates the reality for the collective. The individual consciousness creates the reality for the individual, right? So collectively, what are we giving our attention to? Are we giving our attention to doom and gloom? Are we giving our attention to fear and lack? Are we giving our attention to division and hate? What are we giving our attention to? Because that's the reality we're creating. And the more that we feed the hate machine, or the more that we feed the fear machine, or the more that we feed the unhealthy machine, the more unhealthy our reality is going to be. Right? You are the powerful one to change it. And everyone, I remember so many times in life where people be like, I'm just one person. Like, what can I do? I'm just one person. And you see like litter on the ground, or you see, homelessness, or you see, all of these things. And you're like, I'm just one person. What can I do? Well, you can do a lot. And I'm not saying this for any accolades. Every day that I walk my dog, I'm out there, I've got my poop bags, I got a pocket full of bird seeds, I'm feeding the birds and the squirrels, and that's my thing. But I pick up trash. 11:11, guys. Blessings to everybody. 11:11. We are all one is 11:11. We are all one. Okay, and at 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, we are all one. And then 2-2, 2-2 is there's that collective as well. So when I go and I pick up my dogs, when I'm taking my dog for a walk, I've got poop bags, and so I pick up trash. Every day that I walk down, if I see there's a bag, or I see there's a bottle, or I see I'm going to the garbage. I got poop in my hand. Like, I got a poop bag. So I just pick up more to drop into the garbage as I go. One person can do a lot, and you shifting your perspective, and another person shifting their perspective, and another person shifting their perspective, you don't even realize how you're affecting people energetically just by resonating at a different frequency. When you start to resonate at that different frequency, you shift the environment around you. They actually can detect it. They did studies. The environment knew the day before that 9/11 was going to happen. You could see in the energetic spikes, you could see it. You could see it, that the energy spiked the day before 9/11 because they knew already. Just like incredible how powerful you are. And if everybody says, I'm just one person, what can I do? Then nobody does anything. Rather than saying, I'm one person, look what I can do. I can go and work and help at a shelter, and I can impact the lives of all these animals. I can go and help out at an elderly's home, or I can go and help just my neighbors. I could go to, like, I live in a space where I have a whole bunch of different places like that I could go, where I could go volunteer at a senior center, and I could read to an elderly who can't read anymore because they're blind. I could go and just visit with somebody who doesn't have any visitors coming to them. We have to stop thinking that I have to do something that affects millions of people for it to be valuable. I can affect one soul, and that is valuable. You don't have to impact thousands. You just have to impact one, and that could be yours. And yours will impact others without you even trying, right? Without even trying. You can do a lot, even if it's not picking up the trash. Listen to someone, help a friend, holding the door out for someone, and yep, energetically. Focus on what you can do. What one thinks of as small is bigger, huge for someone else. Exactly, right? And so we're the ones that change the way the world works, and you're not just one person, or it's not just one person that you're affecting. It's a big thing. It's huge, because that energy shift is going to affect everybody else, and we're going to keep doing it, right? Like smiling to other people, holding the door open. If somebody lost something, do you help them find it, or do you just be like, bye, have fun? All right, like there's so much that we can do in such small ways, and in some big ways, right? That's why the whole world, I don't want to participate in any of it, right? I don't understand how somebody can have hundreds of billions of dollars in a bank account, which, I mean, money's an illusion. So to be fair, it's not like there's dollar bills sitting in a bank account, but they could do that but people are starving, or people are homeless, or they can, say, we're going to give you a Tesla that has, that is going to be good for the environment, but we are going to use slave labor to get it. We're going to rape the resources from this space here, and we are going to pay them, below poverty wages. So we're literally stealing from the people who live in the space that has the resource and making them slaves working to extract the resources so that we can make a battery for a car and call it a freaking energy efficient thing that everybody should buy, right? That's how we make change, is in ourselves, and realizing the things that we can do, and not buying into that crap there, right? And we make a ripple effect, and every single one of us that steps up and says, I can be a better human and I can live a better life, that's going to impact the earth in a better way. That's going to impact people in a different way. If I choose to lessen my footprint, I don't have to pay a tax, because a tax ain't doing nothing but making other people rich. But what I can do is I can determine I'm not going to buy crappy things that are going to end up in the landfill again and again and again. I can choose to not put the garbage on the earth. I can choose to pick it up, because maybe it didn't get put there by somebody else. Maybe it blew out of a trash bag and just accidentally ended up on the ground. So I can pick it up because I care for the earth, right? We make the change individually, one by one, and we become a collective that is powerful, that has made these changes that change the world, literally change the world, one action at a time. The web weaver is talking about synchronicities, divine intelligence, and cause and effect, right? And what you put out there comes back to you. I'm 100% proof of that. I cannot even tell you. I jumped off the ledge after leaving my nursing career and said, I'm going to do my company and it's just going to be okay. I trusted. I'm going to believe. I'm going to take this risk. And well, it didn't happen right away. And it's a good thing that it didn't, because I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the generosity and the love of people such as my mom, or the friends that I have, or the community that I have. I'm not here because of just me. I'm here because of you guys, right? So one person isn't just one person, no matter how you look at it. We are a combination of all of the people that have touched us in certain ways, that have supported us, that have helped us, that have given us that pep talk. That pep talk that told you to keep going, or that gifted you $200 as a tithing because they believe in you, or that person who you don't even realize that one day you were just having just such a bad day, and they came in and they just smiled at you, and it shifted your energy just enough that you didn't get into a car accident, and you don't even know that that was going to happen, because you narrowly avoided that disaster, because that smile was the subtle shift that you needed to bring you back into yourself, instead of being absorbed in whatever you were, so that when you got back in your car, you were aware, not unaware as you were driving along. Subtleties like that, that's the shift that we can make, that cause and effect. And it does come back to you. There is divine intelligence that's weaved through everything, right? And we've also got the high lady of love and compassion. If we consider the world as reverence, is with that reverence, right? If we hold humanity with reverence, if we hold the world with reverence, if we have kindness and we do things with consideration. I was on a site today, and it's a site that's about like spirituality and being really open, in the concept of like we are so much more than just a physical body. And somebody had put down on there, we're just a small little speck. And I interpreted it in my mind that they were referring to us being like just a physical being and just this one little body and this one little lifetime hurling on this planet through space, and there's no real reason for us being here. That concept of just a small little speck. And I was like, that's just the lie that they're trying to tell you. And then other people were like, oh, I don't think that you're open enough for this page. I don't think you understand it, because she was talking about, you know, in the concept of Rumi. And I was like, no, actually, I misunderstood. But unfortunately, people, instead of trying to have a dialogue, decided to go to the point of belittlement. And 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 that's the way. How are you moving through the day? Do you give consideration? Do you try to have understanding? Do you try to dialogue and get to that? Do you give? Are you giving kindness, or you know, are you treating people with indifference or hate, or you know, how are you treating people in the world, and how are you treating the world? Do you hold it with reverence? But this is how we move through this. There's quite a big energy, quite a lot of cards for this morning. A lot of cards for our collective reading. Good morning. And yes, pay it forward. Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing that can happen. We're always, you know, the capitalist society is, you know, everybody has the same opportunity for success. And yes, your belief systems are gonna help you with that. But then we feed a lot of these belief systems to everybody, that you're weaker than, or that you're this, or that you're that, or we're gonna keep you, you know, like you're kept down, or this, that. And whatever you buy into creates that system for you. So how can we shift that? How can we shift that? And you could be the person that shines the light for somebody else so that they see things differently and it wakes them up. You could save someone's life not even realizing it by just smiling at them, as in that example that I gave you, right? Good day. Divine rising. Okay. Give me 2 seconds to run to the bathroom because I drank tea and this one's empty. So right before I go to the next cup of tea, you know me, I got my second tea, and switch to give some cards. So just remember, we're going to do the Alchemy Elemental, and we're going to do the Magdalene, the Mary Magdalene cards, and maybe the Gateway of Light. So we have those three choices. Okay, so those are all, there's the Gateway of Light activation. Put it up right. Kyle Gray's Gateway of Light activation. There's the Mary Magdalene manifestation codes. And there are the Alchemy Elemental cards that we're going to have as a choice for today. And that's it. You get one card, one card, unless, as I said before, with the Mary Magdalene, if you get a key, you get the hologram. If you get the hologram, you get the key. If you get a resource card, you just get the one, because that's just the resource that you're getting. So they are all powerful cards. They all have activations or messages. So I'll be back to do those in just a moment. And while you guys are here, just send love and peace out to the world. And mods, just let people know that I'm just running to the little ladies' room, and I'll be right back. And before I leave, I'm still packing up my cards and putting them back in their boxes. And then, hello. We'll get everybody going on the cards when I get back. And we're doing activation cards and stuff like that. Saint Anthony, help me find what can't be found, right? Saint Anthony, help me take a look around. Saint Anthony, help me find what can't be found. Not on my YouTube yet, but I do now. Thank you for mentioning that. Perfect. I have moderators now on YouTube. And those, you know, my core, Spiritual Love and Denise and Dee, if you guys go on, if you're on there, I will make you a moderator on YouTube as well for when we have people like that that come in. And I think Spiritual Love might be a moderator. I think I do have moderators on there, but I have moderators on TikTok for sure. And there, thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. I like the little blue handle beside it and stuff. But yeah, I'll make sure that you're a moderator on both sides as well. So when you're on that page, you have the ability to mute individuals who are being disrespectful or unruly. And we don't mute right away, but definitely, I mean, unless it's like straight up like really, really bad, then yes, use your discretion there. But if I do try to have dialogue with people because, you know, if they're there and they're being respectful and they have questions or, you know, and they're actually like valuable questions, I will answer their questions and stuff like that. It just has to be a respectful dialogue. If it's not, then, you know, then you guys can block them. Same on here, right? If someone comes in like, if they're being like really, really hateful. Really? What the heck? Hang on one. Yeah, it's just about getting clarification, right? Like what is, like the guy this morning with his question, right? At first, because he was talking about like if a man was just like I didn't understand what he was saying and I was asking for clarification. Then we finally got it. I still, you know, it was just a weird one. It's a real weird one. That was what that was. So just give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes to run to the little ladies' room. I'm one deck of cards away from having the cards put away that I'm not using. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes the ADHD works differently, guys. Sometimes it gets you different, and you're like, I gotta do this. I just gotta finish this, and then I'm good. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, so cards. Let's get at it. Let's get some cards going. And we have 3 decks to choose from. You can choose by color, white, black, or blue, which is awesome. Or you can choose the light. You could choose the Magdalene, or you could choose the Alchemy. I guess that's the way that we can separate them. And if you don't have a choice, then I will just pick whatever is aligned with me. Anybody can have a card. I just hope that you support me, or there, you know, you give whatever you can give energetically as well. So who would like a card? Who would like some cards? Hi, Ashley. Blue. Well, Simon came in and he said light blue, so I'm going to give Simon a card from the blue deck, from the blue cards. Spirit, can I get a Gaia Gateway activation? Okay, so the Gaia Gateway activation is about learning experiences. There's wisdom transmission and earthly intelligence. So the Gaia Gateway, there is we talk about this in the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective and stuff like that. So just before I go into the message for Simon, I'm going to just reiterate very clearly, and my mods can continue with this thing. Everybody can get a card. You're the only, and I'll be doing cards until 12:30. So you can, I will give as many cards as I can until 12:30. So everybody can get a card, and it's just until 12:30. That's the only thing. And it's just whatever energy you want to exchange, but there's no requirement. Okay, I'm here of my own free will, my generosity of spirit. And if you want to follow us from here to the Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Collective for a beautiful group that is about the healing and awakening journey, we look at the mind, body, and spiritual health of ourselves and of the collective. It's a supportive environment where there is no division, no hate, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful space. So the Earth Star, or the Gaia Gateway, this is a portal at the heart of Mother Earth. And we talk about this portal. We've connected to it in many of our in the energetic work that we do. So you can connect to this portal and receive information. And this is just, I believe that you're being activated by Mother Earth at this time, Simon, and it's beautiful. So I'm just going to read a little bit from this card, and that's why these ones will take a little bit longer, is because there will be reading required as opposed to me just channeling and also just intuitively giving messages. So to connect, visualize yourself sending deep roots into the center of the earth. When you get as far as you can go, a portal will open up and connect you to the matrix of Gaia's wisdom. Be open to receive a direct transmission from her. Okay, so that's your connect and TT, right? Just as I was saying. So allow that information, the wisdom that you're meant to get from Mother Earth. Okay, so anyone can get a card. You guys want a card? If you want a card, I also need to know which deck you want, or if you want me just to pick for you. So Doris and Ashley had both asked for a card, and if anyone on TikTok or YouTube wants a card, you're totally can get a card too. Just let me know which deck you want it from. So you can go by color, whatever feels like it aligns with you, white, black, or blue, or you can just have me do it for you. Okay, and then I can pick. Okay. Metal Chick wants white, or you want white. No, you just pick. Alrighty. Ashley. So these cards are very specific. When you look at the card, there is medicine, or there could be an activation, or there could be some healing that you receive. And you're going to say this word, you're going to say what I say, you're going to repeat that either out loud or in your mind. Okay? So when you look at this card, you're going to ask your soul, so you're going to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And you're going to allow yourself to just feel what you get coming into you from the card. And anyone can do that, not even just Ashley. If you feel that this card resonates with you, you're making the conscious choice to see if there's an activation or healing or message for you from it, like what the medicine is you may need to receive. The other thing that you say with this is, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay, and that's so you're going to get as much of the medicine as you need to receive. Okay, so every time we do these cards, that's what has to be said. None of the other cards have you saying anything. Okay, number 43, this is your message. Let me find it in here. The name of the game on this planet is evolution. You, my dear, came here to evolve, not to be perfect, not to impress other people, and not to collect likes for your bikini selfies or your six-pack stomach situation. Earth is an evolutionary realm. What this means is that you need to get real with yourself, like really real. You cannot hide from your shadows or your issues. You must look within and get clear on what is and what isn't serving you, as well as what it's time to shift and let go of. To stubbornly cling to that which is no longer serving you and to pretend that it's all fine and pop rocks is a false means of achieving power. And babe, you're far too lit to settle for false power. Take some time out for introspection and self-inquiry and acknowledge the triggers and the traumas that are ready to be transmuted. It doesn't have to be hard or painful or labor intensive. These aspects are simply inviting acknowledgement so that you can gracefully move on and reclaim the true power that is naturally yours. Okay? So that's your message, Ash. Did Doris give a color yet? All right, Denise. Denise, we're going to give these cards a little bit of a shuffle. What is... Hang on. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. What does Denise need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Denise? You're welcome. Aha, beautiful. Okay, so because it's a key, you get the code. So just give me a second to grab the code. They're color coded. Ha ha ha. All right. The key and the code. Okay, so the key is the first one. Okay, so for these ones, you don't have to say anything complicated or big. You just have to receive it. So if you want to receive this, you can do so as well, just by receiving it. Okay. And the message from this one is authentic expression. Love is a given and an action. Take one aligned action inspired by your authentic self for the joy of it. Right? And it's like calling you out. Take one step in the direction of your dreams and definitely make sure that it is in a joyful space. Like joyfully walk in the direction of your dreams. One step. All right. So then the next part, or the hologram that goes with that, is this one here. So again, you're just receiving that. Okay. Perfect. All right, and anyone can receive it. Again, if you feel like it resonates or that you want to receive it, then do. So this is open-hearted connection. Be and model love. Receive, give, and have opulent abundance from an open heart. Right? Opulent abundance from an open heart. Just beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Doris, are you leaving the choice up to me then? Hi, Sherry. The love one, okay? This is one of the trinities. There are three trinities: love, power, and wisdom. And so this is a beautiful card. You are going to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay? And then soul, download the medicine from this image at the highest rate for my highest good. When you draw the love card, you know the card is speaking to your soul's journey in the ways of the heart. The love card is about operating from the heart, leading from the heart, and walking what my ancestors called the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is guided by expansion and flow. It is about connecting authentically from a place of true freedom, true sovereignty, and true liberation. A lot of people like to think the love card is about their soulmate or their twin flame or some Disney fairy tale happily ever after romance kind of thing. Except that's all matrix programming that tries to convince people that love is something outside of themselves that they have to chase, that they have to cling to, and that they have to jump through hoops to obtain and earn and keep and be worthy of. This is false, and this is a trap that has nothing to do with love or with the pathway of the heart. The pathway of the heart is about being fully expressed and fully experienced and allowing others to be fully expressed and fully experienced without rules or regulations or restrictions or judgment or preference or expectation or hesitance or restriction. This theme is about loving for the sake of loving because you are love. Hi, Rejoice. How are you? And that doesn't mean that you accept people in your inner circle, right? Definitely depends on how that person treats you, right? If that person is treating you poorly, they're not meant to be a part of your life. But it's about accepting them for who they are and where they're at. And that can be accepting them and loving them in that way, unconditionally, not trying to change anything, not judging them or criticizing them. That's okay. That's you. You're at that space and it's all right. It's just not a space that resonates with mine, right? So the being in that space is that, and it's a challenge because when people think that love is unconditional, that means that you tolerate whatever, but that's not what unconditional love is. I can love people that I don't even know unconditionally, and I do. But that doesn't mean that everybody gets to be inside my inner circle, right? It all depends on the people and how they show up and how they treat me, right? As to how much access they get or whether they get access at all. Okay, so that's just, I want to make sure that people are aware of that the love card isn't love, or unconditional love isn't just love from and keep them in your life, right? Granny, we got to change your name. Granny, we've got this beautiful card here. So again, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay. Soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Fire Candle Moon, number 17. So some people are operating under the ass-backward impression that a light grows dimmer when other lights are around. Can you imagine? That's just straight up lack mentality, and I can assure you that this could not be further from the truth. The brighter you shine, the brighter we all shine. Still, the brilliance of one's light can only be truly known by the one who bears it and brings it forth, aka you. Are you honoring your light? Do you recognize the magnificence of your spirit? Or are you hiding in the shadows, pretending you're not meant to shine? Bring forth your light, love. It allows all of us to shine brighter. And this is about the comparison and criticism, or, like you're comparing yourself to other people, or thinking that I can't do that or have that because they have it, or I can't do that or have that because look at how magical they are, look at how awesome they are, right? And so you don't let your light shine because you think that someone else is shining so brightly. Like, your light would never be able to shine like that. Your light shines just as bright. It may shine differently at a different frequency, but that's how it knows how to call those people towards it that are going to resonate, is being on that frequency. Allow yourself to shine, Debbie. Love you. Love you. Alrighty, after Debbie. Who's next? Who wants a card? Red, white, or black? No, sorry, blue, white, or black. There's no red. Blue, white, or black. Okay, Bri, these are really powerful cards, so, but I'm going to pull from the Alchemy Elemental. I'm going to pull from this for what medicine you might need to receive. And it came out really fast. So, Bri Guy, this beautiful card. So again, Soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And then just feel it. Soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay? Just beautiful. 57, Sky, Rainbow, Moon. So this is your message, Bri. Do not give in to frustration over the density of this realm or the limitations of the matrix, my love. Indulging in disappointment is a trap that will only compound your misery while fueling the darkness. You must sense beyond the limits of this realm and beyond the rules, the boundaries, and the boxes of the matrix. Instead of surrendering your mood and your peace of mind to some dense 3D reality structure that wants you to think that work and struggle and reality TV are all that there is to life, you must open your mind to a more expansive spectrum of consciousness. Turn your attention toward the spirits, toward the multidimensional realms that hold the information and the knowledge that will lift your own spirit and allow you to embrace the magnificence of the insights awaiting you there. That's a pretty big message for you, Bri. Alrighty, Sherry. Any particular preference for cards? I'm going to pull with the black cards unless someone gives me another card. Okay, unless you say you want the white or the blue, we're going to go with black. So let me know. And you're welcome, Bri. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. The black's okay? Okay. All right. Let's give him a good shuffle. Knock him. All right, Sherry. Can we get a good message for Sherry? So we've got the powerful, powerful panther here, plus the dragonfly and a stork. A lot of pictures in here. The pyramids. So you could be picking up a lot of references from this image, like Egypt. You could be picking up transformation with the dragonfly. The panther is power, right? There's so much energy within this. So even if this isn't your card, you can still say what I'm going to say, that Sherry's going to say as well. So soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And then soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. And that means that you're only going to get as much as you need. And if you don't need any at all, you're not going to receive any at all. If you need a lot, you're going to get a lot. And I like doing it that way because then if you might think that this card, I love the Panther, so I want to, say this thing to me. But you might not need it, so then you're not going to receive it. But at least you're taking the conscious decision to ask for it, right? It's all about consent, right? There has to be consent. Same thing when I do my energy healing. I never do energy healing without consent, right? I don't do it for anybody unless you can actually consent for them. So Earth. The Earth's ecosystem is extremely intelligent in its design. Every animal that exists on this planet is here for a very specific, very necessary reason. It is the same with the plants and the insects and the minerals and all of it. This means that when we harm the animals, we harm ourselves, and we harm our planet, and we harm all the life that it holds. What are you doing to help balance the ecosystem? Are you inadvertently supporting factory farming and industrialized meat production with the foods you eat and the restaurants you frequent? Are you still consuming single-use plastics? Do you recycle, reuse, replant, and compost? Do you mend your holy socks, or do you throw them away and go to your local corporate superstore to buy new ones that were made at a factory in China? What are you doing to balance the scales so that every being on the planet can thrive in harmony? Your actions really do matter, my love, every one of them. And I see this as more of a, when I'm reading this for you, Sherry, I'm seeing it that for you to realize like everybody is important. Everybody is here for a specific reason. Just like there's a reason for mosquitoes, or there's a reason for spiders, or there's a reason for, it's an ecosystem, right? So there's, if everybody can realize that they're necessary, they're needed, they're required. You wouldn't be a part of this if you weren't important, or if there's a reason for you, right? There's a reason for you. And what you do to yourself, how you treat yourself, affects the rest of the ecosystem as well. So treat yourself with reverence and love and compassion and understanding. That's the message that's coming through from that card from me to you. But also making sure that, as further to the conversation I had earlier, that we're doing the things that we want to, we're behaving in such a way of the things that we want to see. So we can sit there and talk about, like this whole, we can get into carbon, or we can get into, the environment and, all of the doomsday stuff that they're selling us on the end of the world, or on, like all of these things that we're doing to ravage the planet. But all of us can make better decisions to change how we act, which is going to be what really makes change, right? It's just like if you went to the doctor and instead of telling you, oh, I'm going to give you this medication for your blood pressure, if he told you instead, you need to reduce the processed food in your diet, and I'm going to give you a prescription for a 30-minute-a-day walk after supper every day. 30-minute walk after supper, and make sure and look into a couple other things. Like if he gave you that kind of instruction so that you could better yourself, you have to implement it, right? Like we have to do the things to get the change that we want to see, each one of us. Okay. Alrighty, rejoice. What does rejoice need to? Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Wow. We're going with the first one. We're going with the first one, rejoice. All right. So fire, tribal fire, earth. I'll pull it back here. So soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And then soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay. And your message. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear the messages Gaia is sharing with the awakening ones, the time for stewardship is now. The earth gives to her children without asking anything in return. The tribal fires are now asking you to nurture our planet just as she nourishes you, to give selflessly to the mother just as she gives selflessly to you and to all her children. Gather your friends and your tribe in nature and give back. Nourish the earth's soils with compost and minerals. Plant seeds, pull weeds, feed the birds, thank the trees. Offer blessings and gratitude and love and appreciation. Our Mother Earth loves us so dearly. The more we replenish the earth, the more we replenish ourselves. That was beautiful, especially on the heel of the last card that we had. The last one. Wow. All right, who else wants a card? You guys are being awfully quiet today. Did I put you to sleep with our music in the background? You seem to be a troll. Tam. What does Tam need to hear today, Spirit? Ooh, Tam, I love this one. I love this one. Okay. We've gotten this one in the collective, so you've seen this one, and it's nice to just give it straight to you, so you know this wasn't given to somebody else in our collective, and you just got to receive it. You know this is specifically for you. Okay. So I'm going to show it here just briefly. I think Simon and Richard and Byron may have seen this one in the collective before as well. Just a reminder, we do have men in the collective. We have women in the collective. We don't identify really. It's just we are a collective, and we just love each other. So, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. And then soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay. Your trust in the unseen and the faith you have given to the mysteries unfolding in your favor as you waded through the darkest of hours have brought you here to a place of great rewards. The spirits are singing your praises, for you were brave enough to trust in the unknown. You found bliss in the darkness and found kinship among the shadow spirits by honoring them along your journey. What was once a realm of darkness and trepidation is now decorated with shimmering jewels and beautiful gems, glistening totems marking your successful efforts to bring beauty and surrender to where fear once ruled. You have overcome so much, my love. Now is the time to reap the rewards of your newfound freedom and of the inner peace and graceful resilience that will enrich your life for the rest of your years. That's powerful. And you are, like we all said, like you were, and I'm telling you, Tammy, I'm so proud of, like, you were the only one that took advantage of that free trial that I gave of the collective for the 12 days that, or whatever that I gave the trial for, the 2 weeks. You were the only one that took that. Maybe reach to you too. You were the only one that took that opportunity, and and you have shone from it. Like we all talk about how much you're glowing. Right, and I think that you can even feel your energy changing as well, right? You can feel that you're lightening, right? I love it. I love it. Alrighty, who's next for a card? Did any of the other individuals on here? Aww. I just love you. I just love you, and I thank you. I thank you for your tithing. I thanked you on the air first thing this morning. I gave thanks to Tammy, I gave thanks to Richard, and I gave thanks to Salasia as well for either donations or for purchases that they've made recently that I'm thankful for. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a part of my community as well. Right? Thank you. All right. Anyone else for cards? Because if nobody's asking, we'll go and take a break until the collective, and we'll have fun that way. I love you being a part of the community as well. Everybody is a little beautiful jewel or light that is within that community too, right? Hello, hello. Nobody's saying anything? Everybody's good? Alrighty. It was a 444 there. We had 1144 and then 114444. Lots of fours. Lots of fours on there. Me too. I did too. That's hilarious. I have you in a very relaxed state. Well, love to you, Victor. Would you like a card? You can pick the Alchemy Elemental, the Mary Magdalene cards, or the Kyle Grays. I'm not sure. I think that if you subscribe to my channel, I think that that does like you're already part of the channel. I don't have like a, I didn't, yeah. You'll go with Kyle? Okay. Because it's funny because that's what I picked up. And you know what? I'm gonna just give him I'm gonna give him a better shuffle. The card came out right away, but you know what? I know it'll come out again because it's meant to, if it's meant to. But this way here, I'll give it a good, honest shuffle for Victor. Spirit, can we get a good message for Victor? Ooh. Anunnaki light codes. Absolutely. Lot of synchronicity. I think it's amping up for sure. So Anunnaki light codes is what your card is, the activation. I'll read from the book for this so that you get the activation. These cards, you don't have to say anything, but it does have a connect thing within the message, which will tell you how to connect to this. And I know for this one, there's a part of chanting, Anunnaki, Anunnaki, Anunnaki. I welcome in the presence of the Anunnaki people. Right, that's what you'll chant, and then say, thank you, angelic cosmic beings, for immersing my energy body in your light codes. Okay? Look at those stream of information of light codes that are coming in. Okay? So the message is, great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you're willing to shift your perception. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know that this is simply fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with the new. Old systems, old ways of beings, and old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You are standing at a gateway of pure potential that will be ignited as soon as you move through this necessary change. Be open to new information, new processes, and new ideas. You are a part of the new energy upon the new earth. Wow. Hi Valerie, and hi Shar. Hi Iga. Wow. I'm glad we got to read that one. I'm glad we've met. One of these days I'll finish filling out the form so that I can do the meditation with you on and I'll hold one of your nodes. Very appropriate. Absolutely. Yep. Victor should come and join our community. He'd be a wonderful addition to our community. Absolutely. And create a new earth together. Okay, who else for cards? And you can pick blue. I'm looking forward to having you join us. But yes, I just have to get my calendar and coordinate my calendar and fill out the form. I just have to sit at a computer and like, I just have to do it. I just have to do it, right? All right. Hi, Simon. Your mom? Oh, how about your mom? I could pull a card for your mom. If anyone else wants to ask for a card. Oh yeah, it's to join the collective. It's a subscription group. We make 5 days a week, Victor. Like after I'm done here, we go to the collective and we hang out in a Zoom meeting, and it's all about mind, body, spirit, health. We're supporting individuals on the healing and awakening journey, and it's a beautiful collective. It starts with raising our own vibration, and that allows for the vibration of the collective to raise. Um, just beautiful. Um, So that's what it is. It's not just joining the site, but becoming a part of the subscription group. It's $13 a month Canadian. We meet 5 days a week. We have an optional sixth day with Saturday if somebody is in need of support. On Saturday, we do have an open meeting that sits there available for that in case anyone needs it. And yeah, it's just a very supportive, lovely environment. For your mom, I'm going to pull the Magdalene key codes. Yeah, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty, so for Simon's, well, that came out really fast. Aw, that's cool. The only thing with that is that your mom's not here to receive like the code, so it's kind of hard to pull those messages for her, right? And when we go into these cards, there would have to be consent with any of the stuff. So I give your mom like yeah, I just realized that would be weird. If there's anything to do with, you know, a download, if she's not here, she can't download it. So that would be, so your mom, the one card that I pulled is look in a book from the fairies. So the fairies are asking her if she has any questions to do this process where it's, sorry, a card flipped over in it, to look in a book. And she may be looking for inspiration or something like that, and she may be finding it in a book. So when we do this part of looking in a book, whatever your question is that you're having, you grab a book that's near you, you hold it, and you think about the question that you're asking, and you ask to find the answer, to be drawn to the answer within the book. And then you're gonna keep your eyes closed. You're gonna just allow yourself to intuitively stop at a page, and you're even going to run your finger to a certain spot so that it's at a line. And wherever you feel is the spot that you need to stop, then you're gonna look at it and read the message. So the message that I put my finger to is maybe the fairy of sunshine is saying you need to get more vitamin D from sunlight. Perhaps a mini holiday to a sunny location is just what the fairy of sunshine ordered. She may also be telling you that if someone feels like a ray of sunshine in your life, keep them close, or she may be calling you to be a ray of sunshine in someone else's life. So that's the message that I pulled from the look in a book for your mom out of the fairy messages. Inspiration is coming in, and there is a call to come together, and that's the collective. I really feel like, you know, and you've talked about this, but I do feel like your mom's going to become a part of the collective in a way, right? And I think that's beautiful. But there is a notion of getting together and physically with people, and get together with the people that feel like sunshine. And yeah, that's the message for your mom, Simon. Okay. All right, anybody else for a card? And if everybody's good with cards, then at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 5. Anyway, we can keep looking at numbers and talk about all the synchronicities with numbers. But if everybody's good for cards, then aw, that's beautiful. Hi, Gary. Hello, hello. How are you? You stumbled upon me, and I am multifaceted. I don't even know what to say. Sorry. I'm a spiritual mentor. I am a healer. I am a trauma specialist. I am a retired nurse of over 20 years. There's a lot of different hats that I've worn, and a lot of different things that I bring to it. And yeah, so you can hang out with us here. I have a collective that I have created, and that collective is full of individuals who are looking at mind, body, spiritual health as they are healing from trauma, and that trauma is from a lot of society stuff too. and are also on their awakening journey, awakening to, you know, more of the magical, more to the magic of who they are. And so it's a supportive community. I do lives on TikTok and YouTube throughout the week. YouTube so far is 5 days a week, and TikTok was 5 days a week for a really long time, but then I started just doing twice a week on TikTok. And I might do twice a week on YouTube as well. And then all day, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week in the collective. So that's how the change might go to. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see. If I get the card that was talking about abundance, so, you know, maybe I get abundance if I, you know, do a little less of free time on the lives every day. But yeah. Well, our collective, which is a subscription group, we meet 5 days a week. It's $13 Canadian per month until January, when it will go to the final price that I'm going to charge for it, at least for the long time being. I don't know when it would ever change, but it'll be $22 Canadian a month. I meet with you 5 days a week, and we talk about health and healing, and it's very, very supportive. And we really are helping people connect to their spirituality and who they are, and remove the veil that's been keeping us blocked. We do work on connecting to our spiritual gifts. I do powerful energy work with people as well. So there's all of that's going on with it. But one of the things that I would suggest, meditation, of course, as a way to connect spiritually. It's the inner work, and it's going inside, right? The other thing is to not be paying attention to the brain, right? It would be actually stepping back into what am I feeling, or what am I picking up through my other senses. So right now, if you listen, right, if you stop for a second and you listen, you might hear certain things, but if you expand your ears, you're going to realize you're hearing way more, right? So it's that concept. When we just pause and listen, we hear so much, but when we actually extend our hearing, we try to reach out to the farthest things. If you actually say to yourself, what's the furthest sound I can hear? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the collective would be the perfect space for you. Absolutely. And just to be very, very open, we have all ages, men, women. We have all identities, and we don't do, like, it's not about identity. There's no division, no hate, none of that. You and I'd have to have a conversation, Mandy. You've interacted with my live on numerous times. I've asked you to create an appointment with me, which you did. And I've asked you to redo that appointment so that we actually both connect. It's a Zoom meeting. You've emailed me and you've sent me messages, but I would like to have that connection so I can talk to you about it, so I can give you some understanding about what is going on, and what maybe can be done to bring it back. Okay, and yeah, but that involves a conversation, right? It can't be just straight up, why is this, and I'm gonna be able to tell you what to do. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. So does anybody else want any cards? We still have some cards that we can get. See how far you can stretch it out, right? If I'm sitting here and I'm like, what is the furthest sound that I can hear? And stretch for it. What's the, you know, and you can start doing that with listing off the things. What's the closest sound that I'm hearing? What's the loudest sound that I'm hearing? What's the softest sound that I'm hearing? Right? What's the furthest sound that I can hear? That's how you play with your hearing, as you give yourself instructions about where you want to go with it and seek into those spaces, right? So that you're trying to identify that. That's going to open up your your hearing. When you just sit with your feelings and you just feel into the environment, what are you feeling around you, right? Can you feel the wind on your skin or the air subtly moving in the environment that you're in? What are you feeling? Can you pick up the feeling? Like, what is your dog or your cat or your plants? What do you feel when you connect through your feelings to them? What are you feeling coming from your plant? What are you feeling coming from your dog? Right? What are you feeling out into the environment around you? That's how you extend yourself. Love you. Mwah. I'll see you when you get there, sweetie. Love you, love you, love you. Right? So that's feeling out into it. No, no, with the hearing especially, that would be really, really cool to try in different environments, right? It definitely helps to shut down the other senses, right? Listening to hearing with your eyes open, you're going to hear for sure and extend yourself into that. But if you close out your eyes, then you're just closing out that extra information that's coming in to stretch out your hearing. So it helps to be able to do that, but you don't have to close your eyes to stretch your hearing out into those spaces, right? Same thing with any of it, like visually, right? Visually, when there's different, what are you seeing? And when we're looking visually, most often it comes through the perception, the peripherals, right? Sometimes you'll see like something fly by, like a dark shadow that just whips by the corner of your vision. Know that when you're seeing that, you're actually seeing that. That is what you're seeing. Right? You're seeing that motion. It's nothing to be afraid of or scared of or anything like that. But that's the beginning of your visual perspective expanding. You can do things where you're doing your aura, right? Where you're looking to see the aura of yourself, right? When you put your fingers together and you open it up, especially on a white background, right? You can see the little bit of energy that runs around your hand, and when you put your fingers close together, you can bounce that energy between the two fingers and kind of extend it a little bit, right? So that's you seeing the energy, the aura that surrounds you. So just sitting in space, sitting in silence, right? When we can silence, and I know that's funny saying silence when I'm talking about expanding your hearing, but if we can silence the stuff that's going on in our environment, so being still, slowing down the motion. I can, if you make an appointment, I can, but today I'm not free. Today I have this, and in 15 minutes, the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective, and then at 2:30, I have the New Earth Co-Creators Alliance that I'm a part of. So I'm not today. I don't have time today. And then I have my time. My time is in there as well. You can check my calendar on the website that's linked in my profile, and you can make a Zoom meeting. It should be in your time that you're setting the meeting, and my time will be whatever it is in to that. So if you make it for 7 p.m., it'll be 7 p.m. your time. Okay. Just make note of the date and time that you make the appointment, and then show up for it, and I'll show up on my end, and then we'll have our conversation. Alrighty, does anybody else want a card or anything before I go? Because if not, then we'll close her down now, and I'll meet the people that are part of the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. I'll meet them there. If you're looking for a place that is very, very supportive for your healing and awakening journey, please do look at the website and come and hang out with us. Come and hang out with us. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful environment. So, what do you feel like you want a card on? What would you like a card in regards to, Bliss Princess? Do you want a message from your higher self? Are you looking at, like abundance or prosperity? Are you looking at relationships and stuff like that? You're welcome, Doris. I love you, Linda. Come hang out with us. I don't know if you can do that, but come hang out with us. Higher self message? Okay. Perfect. Let's get that from our Shaman Durek cards. So what, whoa. Okay. So these cards, you have to say something. Okay, you have to say something in order to receive it. So first, You have to say, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Okay? Soul, download the medicine from this image at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay, so that's what you're gonna, and if you want to receive it, you can say those things as well. Anyone can receive the message, but you'll only get what you need from it. Okay, so if you don't need it, you won't receive it. That's why we say that. That's specific to this particular deck of cards, not the other ones that I use, but to this one. So let's see what our message is, number 73. A lot of people confuse vulnerability with weakness, which means a lot of people get it really wrong, because nothing could be further from the truth. An open heart doesn't fear pain, and an open heart doesn't need to wear armor or hide to protect itself. Allow yourself to delve deep into your vulnerability and to share it with others. Be with the pain that lives inside of you and allow it to express and to release. Cry and let the tears cleanse your spirit, knowing that the process is renewing your essence and purifying your soul. Allow others into your pain and into your emotions while welcoming theirs into your own heart. Open your heart to your tribe so that they can see the fullness of you. Be gentle with yourself, dear one, for this is tender territory you are choosing to tread. Hold your vulnerability and others' vulnerability with grace and with respect. It takes great courage to share your feelings with others. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Alrighty, and on TikTok, GBM. GBM. All right. GBM, that came out quick. Ooh. So this little guy. All right. You're welcome. So, soul, download the medicine from this image into my body and drop me into observation so that I can feel it. Soul, download the medicine from this image into my body at the highest rate for my highest good. Okay? You know the expression, emotions are just energy in motion? It's true. They are temporary states of mood and weather and what have you that are simply passing through your vessel, soon to be replaced by new moods, new feelings, and new weather. Holding on to emotions creates stagnation in the body and in the spirit, and dullness in our lives. When we obsess over our emotions and when we attempt to make sense of them with the mind by replaying the situations that inspired them over and over and over again, we are thinking incorrectly and we are thinking against ourselves. Get out of your head, my dear. Keep your feelings fluid and your mind open and clear. There is nothing to figure out. Your only task right now is to feel and allow and accept. And that is a powerful message, especially with what we were talking about, because that's essentially what I was telling you to do, is just to be and feel. Although feeling into your space or sensing into your space with your hearing. And when we are in the space of trauma, the reason why it's harder for us to access our gifts with trauma is because it's such a weighted energy from all of the stored emotions. So it's weighing us down and keeping us from elevating to the space where we can hear outside or we can sense outside of ourselves. It's keeping us like a weight in our bodies. So allowing the emotions to release allows us to connect more to our divinity and our abilities, which is beautiful. There's the book I'm looking for. I like to put my cards back together. So I'm looking for that now. How did that feel for you? Are we good? Are we good? Is everybody good? Everybody's good? Alrighty, well on that note, I'm going to give myself a little 5-minute break or so before we go live into the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective. So for those of you that are a part of the collective, I will see you there at 12:30. I will open up the meeting beforehand, but I'm not going to be in the meeting until 12:30. So feel free to join into the Zoom meeting if you want to at that time. And for anyone else that's looking to connect with me, you can go to my website. I have all kinds of products and services that are available. I am an author 7 times now. I have 3 children's books that are published, as well as books and journals for adults. So you've got lots of that stuff, or you can sign up for a reading or healing, or just like I said, just come and join us in the collective. I love you, and I'm sending you beautiful blessings for the day, and lots of peace and compassion sent your way. Okay, peace and compassion sent your way. Right. Love you. I'll see you guys in the Mind, Body, Spirit Healthy Collective in 5 minutes. Mwah. Hi, Sneha.